We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Malik Washington, Miami Dolphins rookie wide receiver, and he's really taken over as like the wide receiver 3 in this offense. Over the past few weeks, he's gotten the most snaps after Tyreek and Waddle. He's getting more snaps than OBJ, River Craycraft. His role has been expanded too with his playing time. Like, he's getting more targets, he's getting more manufactured touches, whether it's screens or like end arounds, reverses. Like, they're trying to get him. That's why I think like he's really that wide receiver 3 now, because he went from like playing almost like a pseudo fullback move tight end role. Like, he was, when Ingold was out moving around, is like motioning him, making him a lead blocker. From doing that, showing that type of versatility, to then getting like manufactured touches, tells you how much they trust him, because they put in a lot of faith in him as a blocker and things like that. He's done a lot of the dirty work. To now be rewarded with touches, I think is huge for him. Clearly, they put in some faith in this guy. Pretty good player with the ball in his hands too. He's the punt returner. He's had some nice punt returns for you. Goes out there, blocks on the edge, does it in multiple different ways. It's been exciting to watch. And, you know, I'm a big Malik Washington fan. And he's really deserved, like, I think, you know, all the things that he's been getting. So I feel like it kind of started like in the Bills game that I showed. It kind of started in that game where he started getting more and more playing time, really, and like getting some touches and really used in a versatile way. But this Rams game was where like they decided to let him get some usage going, and he gets his first touchdown of the season. They get him the reverse. Really like this, because Malik's a good player with the ball in his hands. This almost like turns into a punt return. He's not as like fast or explosive as Tyreek or Waddle, but when he's out there, the teams aren't as keyed on him, so you can get him a good look, and now it just turns into like a punt return for him. And even though he doesn't have that quite the same speed, he's got enough speed to still, you know, make these plays. And he's basically a running back with the ball in his hands. He shows really good, like, even though he's short, he's got like this kind of like compact frame where he can bounce off tackles, make guys miss, that type of thing. I want to see more downfield usage now too. Like, this was a huge catch in the Rams game, one that really sealed the game away pretty much, on a huge third down, to be on the same page as your quarterback here, because Tua does a good job holding this flat defender with his eyes, his bodies, give him a little shoulder fake right there. And Malik understands verse cover too. Like, he's trying to get to this spot of the field, and he knows to snap his head around on this corner route and just find this soft spot in this zone. He gets his head around quick, knows he doesn't need to go, because like Tua completed one of these last week to Jonnu, but with where the ball needed to go, it went over the numbers and went to the sideline. So like, Washington has multiple options here and understands just like the feel of this route, this play, that this ball is probably going to try to be, you know, fired in here between these two defenders and underneath this guy. And he makes that adjustment, makes a nice catch low below the frame, secures it. Washington had really good hands in college. Like, he had one of the best catch percentages. So it's nice to see him get that work. I still want to see more downfield stuff, because really, other than that, he hasn't had too much work down the field. And I think that's sort of the next step for him. He's getting a lot of manufactured touches. He's doing a lot of dirty work, and things are kind of just progressing each game. Like in the Raiders game, he got multiple touches. Here's another just end around. Good decision making, you know, good feel for this. Jack Jones, 18, was blowing up these types of plays throughout the game. And just good adjustment by Jalen Wright, and then good read by Washington to work off the back of his blocker. Look at him get upfield and then just stiff arm. This is a linebacker right here. This is Divine Diablo, number 5 for the Raiders. And he just stiff arms, bounces off that tackle like it's nothing, showing contact balance, get upfield. Like, he doesn't break that tackle. He could get, some players would get tripped up here, only pick up, you know, maybe a couple yards on the play. He does that, and that allows him to pick up like 7-8 yards. Really like that work there from Washington. Design touches. It's the contact balance, vision, very solid play there from Washington. And then now in the flat, just manufactured screens. He got multiple throughout this game. This is the most, like, there were some other games where maybe he got one screen, but usually these plays are going to Tyreek or Achane or Waddle or Jonnu Smith. In this game, he got 3 opportunities, and I think it's because they're starting to trust him more, and then teams aren't keying on him as much as that part of the game plan. So he gets better looks, and he's able to, you know, make some, he is able to feel this, work off his blocks, get downhill, just like, once he catches the ball here, catch the ball, good placement by Tua too, to lead him out. He catches it with his hands, gets his momentum upfield, you know, shows some explosiveness, like this cut right here where he sticks his foot in the ground to work off the back of Waddle, to just explode downhill and run hard, finish through that too, because he definitely plays with some toughness. But having that sort of, another player that can do that for you and get positive yards outside of like your main studs, I think is a good development. And everyone is out there doing the work. Like look at Waddle blocking, Julian Hill getting in some work as a blocker. This one I do think Malik Washington would want back, because if he catches this and this is the thing, like I do understand, like he catches the ball and shifts his momentum upfield, which is the right thing to do, where like he sticks that back from the ground, he's catching it and trying to flip his hips forward. The only problem is by him doing that, he's kind of gets too far up into this block and is not able to see this cutback lane, because if he's able to catch this ball and instantly recognize, he probably could have cut it to the inside. Also, if Julian Hill had like a better block, he would have had so much space to the inside. I think Malik just kind of read this one wrong. There is still some impressive stuff. Like I like how he shifts his momentum at the catch point, understands like, you know, how to flip his hips open, catch the ball with his hands. Also, like he shows contact balance, play strength. Like he doesn't go down easily here. Fights through that contact from an outside like big linebacker. So some good to take away too. But I feel like this is one he wants back, because if he recognizes just a little bit quicker, Julian Hill had a slightly better block. He had that cutback lane and had lots of yards, because he would have got blocked here, and he had like one-on-one with a safety out in space around probably the 40. So that's unfortunate. It didn't work out at the time, but just another example of him getting more design touches after doing this type of things for weeks. The Dolphins were using like this mesh concept, like showing that it's mesh, but it's basically a screen down the field with just receivers blocking, with Jonnu and Malik Washington now kicking out their guys. You get the ball to Raheem Mostert, he's blocking. Really, really fun type of player that he's been able to do this for you. Like, because he's, you know, definitely on the smaller side for a guy, but he's willing to go out there, put his body on the line, do that dirty work type of stuff. And I think these are the types of plays, and plays like this where he's a lead blocker. He's basically your move tight end and fullback here to kick out 31. Like he peeks to the inside too first, like seeing if he needs to get anyone outside. Sees that, you know, they have this guy cracked there, so he kicks out 31, gives Mostert just enough of a lane to work through. Was doing this for a couple of weeks when Ingold wasn't playing, like doing some of those reps for you. So impressive work that you can ask like a 5'9" wide receiver to play those types of snaps. It's very, very, very rare. And it's not like he's like amazing at it or anything, but he's going out there and, you know, giving like a high effort, willing, and still having some positive reps while also playing as a receiver for you. He's learned apparently every spot. Seems like he's that type of player that coaches just absolutely love. And then he got rewarded for doing the dirty work, getting these design touches, the reverses, working out in space. This one I do think he could have cut to the outside, just because I think if Smythe got a better block, because he was like probably going to cut to the outside because Smythe had the leverage there, but he just loses too quickly. And I think since this player is expecting you to work to the outside, he's just cuts, gets upfield, and still runs. Shows the burst to make that guy miss. He does a good job making that first guy miss, running through some arm tackles, not going down super easily, falling forward, fighting for extra yards. Love that, you know. Dolphins are a smaller team when it comes to their skill position weapons, but a lot of them are definitely fighting and showing good toughness, good contact balance, play strength for their size. And then just continuous blocking out in space. You're on their nickel, you kick that guy out, allow Achane to work off the block, the back of you, because the offensive linemen are doing a good job out in space. You have receivers who are blocking, that just helps so much. And I think like Tyreek, Waddle, Malik Washington, you have Craycraft who's back now too, who's a very good blocker. They're all doing a lot of extra work as a blocker for you, which is nice. Like here's Washington getting hands on the initial corner on the toss play. Once he does that, he sees the safety coming down, just making like sort of heads up plays. It doesn't really matter too much in this situation because this play gets blown up in the backfield. But these are the types of things you want to see where you're in this tight, sort of nasty alignment. You get hands on the corner, you get him wide and just enough. Now you see the safety trying to shoot down and take on the hole, and you just peel off of it, find him, throw your body into that guy. Like, even though you're probably going to get blown up because that guy has momentum, but he's willing to put his body on the line and do multiple different things from you. So really like this development from Malik Washington. I think that, the next step is more downfield work. There's been times where he's been open, but other things have been open and he wasn't the first read. So we'll see if he gets more stuff, working down the middle of the field, things like that. But he was still getting design touches. Here's another screen, even down in the red zone. This is literally first and goal from the 6. They motioned him out this time. They were doing it different ways where they'd have Julian Hill motioning, him motioning, someone else motioning across, get him the ball, work these angles. I think, makes a good decision here, like just reading your blocks, like Tyreek's kicking his guy out, work off the back of Waddle. he sees that Robert Jones is probably not going to be able to get out there to 41. So instead of like just trying to like be super patient, I guess he potentially could have cut this far back to the inside. But I think he's just really working off the back of Waddle here. Like this is his read, is Waddle. It would have been really tough for him to hard change direction because it looks like there's space there, but 41 could easily peeled off and matched him. But I think he makes the right decision. Just get downhill, fight forward. He doesn't go down easily. He's not going down just on that first hit. He stays on his feet, fight, gives his O lineman a chance to push him. Gets down at like the 2, but they score right after that on a run play. Just shows that they've really, really started to trust him, and he really has become that wide receiver 3 in the offense as a rookie with good players there. Even getting Craycraft back, who's a very reliable, good player for you. And OBJ has been getting more work too, but Malik Washington is still out snapping him, so that's nice to see for his development. So if you guys are like, comment and subscribe.